this is Doug again. Hey, kind of giving you guys an update on the GMC Jimmy, the S10 Blazer, and as well as the Willys Wagon. Yesterday I finally got the last two body bolts out. They were definitely frozen, and that almost took an act of Congress, if you know what I mean about the Congress nowadays, but it is what it is. But yeah, and I've got a gray lift jack. I went ahead and lifted the body up just a little bit. You can see this board underneath between the frame and or the chassis and the body. I've got it at all 4 points right now. The reason for it is so I can just validate any additional connections I may have between body and chassis, which I think I pretty much got everything taken care of. The last section I needed to do yesterday was to go ahead and loosen up the whole fuel line on the side of the body, and you can tell I got about 2, maybe 3 inches or so between the chassis and the body itself, so that is looking good. Again, I got those at all 4 points. I went ahead and started working on the inside and started removing a lot of the wiring and what have you. Got most of the dashboard taken out, and I want to go ahead and pull as much of this harness out as I can. I have this one strip right here that runs all the way back to the tailgate because it's electric, as well as a wiper motor, and I guess it's the heating strip on the back. I got to get that disconnected. Also too, on the seats are also electric, so I've got to get all that wiring harness out, and then eventually I'll get the blower and evaporator and all that stuff taken out from the dashboard, and I guess that'd be pretty much it. And I had planned on today, I really wanted to go ahead and roll this out into the yard, but leave it to Arkansas. We got more rain coming in, a lot more rain, so that's been kind of canceled, so I'll just concentrate on trying to get the rest of this wiring harness out of here. Kind of give an update on the engine. I had sent one 4.3 engine into the shop, which I probably had told you guys about. This is the one out of this vehicle. I'm just going to keep it as a spare for maybe later on, or maybe I'll just sell it for parts. I don't know yet. I hadn't quite made a decision on that. But the engine I got in the shop, they went ahead and magnafluxed the heads, and both of the heads on there were shot. They actually got severe cracks in them, possibly due to water getting into the engine, and during a compression cycle it might have cracked the head. So really don't know, but the guy at the machine shop had an extra set of heads. He's going to go ahead and magnaflux the block and make sure that the block is all sound, and get that pretty much straightened out. And then when that gets home, well, then I can go ahead and start assembling it. Once I get this body off, my intentions is to go ahead and pull this engine and transmission and separate the transmission, and then I'll start working on the tranny. I want to go ahead and overhaul it. That way I've got a fresh engine, fresh transmission, and then I'll go ahead and check out the front and rear differentials, make sure all those are sound, replace all the A-frame bushings in here. Same thing with the strut bar. I'm going to replace all those bushings and what have you. I'll take a look at the rest of this. I know that when I had ran this vehicle, I did have an ABS light on, so it might be the hubs on here, might be, who knows, maybe there's a disconnect or something with that on the wiring connection, but then again, it could very well be the hubs are bad. I got to still get the power booster out. I'm plan on trying to get that taken care of. Anyway, so flipping over from the Jimmy to the Willys, first off, I've gone ahead and removed the tailgate. It had a lot more rust than I anticipated on the bottom. I can scroll over here and you can see how much rust is on this bad boy. It is just horrible shape. And this is the front side of it, and same thing with it. It's just in poor shape. So anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get that other tailgate, and we'll end up putting it on there at a later date. But kind of give you some ideas what I've been working on, mostly cleaning up this whole back cab section. There was a board that ran across here, kind of hinged and what have you. I guess the fellow who had this before probably had it where he could just flip this board across and be able to store big boxes or items or whatever, and put stuff on top and what have you. So that's all been taken out, and it's pretty much back to original now. There are two brackets up front that need to be removed. They're not needed. I'm not sure. I think they were probably part of the original seating that was originally in this vehicle. There's some brackets here. There's like 4 of them over here, but I'm gonna hang on to those. I'll just keep them in there. The slats that you see here are all oak, and my intentions are with the oak is to go ahead and pull all those boards up, clean them all up, and then while the boards are up, I'll end up sanding out the bed itself and cleaning up all the rust and what have you, and then treat everything, including the fender wells and what have you. And that way then it'll be pretty much back to original. But it's beautiful when these things are totally painted and the boards have been cleaned up and reinstalled, and almost looks like teak wood that's sitting inside there. The other thing I did was, if you notice, I got windows on the left and on the right. These are the 2 windows. They're both mostly a slider window, and I've gone ahead and I removed both of them. These other side windows, I'm going to go ahead and pop out and get them out of the way as well. Because when I end up repainting this whole thing, well, I got to repaint all that jam area. So the intent is to take the back window glass here and pop these glasses out, and then change all this glass to dark tint, including these, including the sliders as well. So that'll all be dark tinted, and then the ones on the front will be a light tint. And then of course the windshield up front is all in good shape. There's no cracks in there, but I don't know how original that is, and safety glass nowadays has changed over the years, so I'll probably just go ahead and replace it as well. So a lot of work's been done. It's still in the making. The seats, if you notice, those are the Cadillac Escalade seats. They flip and fold, which is what you need in order to enter the side door, and they still got to be modified. I hadn't got around to that yet. So again, they also sit so high. That's the reason for the modification between the actual steering wheel and the seat itself. But that steering column, it actually come out. I'm going to put in a custom column in there, but I'm probably going to try to do repair work on the steering wheel and keep it original, and just adapt it to the new steering column that I plan on putting in there. So yep, there's still a little bit of work to be done. I say a little bit, that's just the emphasis on a lot. So but still, I still got quite a bit of work to do. Kind of give you an idea on, I talked in my last video about this grill. Have not got around to repairing this yet, because of all the other projects I've been working on. However, what I did do was on the hood, this was bent in, as well as the other side. It too was actually bent in. So using body tools, I went ahead and I hammered it out, and now it looks pretty darn good. I still got just a little bit more work I got to do on there, and as well straighten out some of this right here on the side of the hood. So it's coming along. It's just, again, you know, it's seen its days since the 50s, so it's going to be there for too much longer. So anyway, so I still got to get the bumpers off on the front and rear. I took a look at the removing this on the back end. I actually have a bumper hitch, if you notice, and that's kind of unique. There's a inside underneath the body is a support tube that runs across there. It's almost like 3 inches in diameter, and this thing is bolted on both points on the bumper support, and then it goes up, and then it has another bar that runs across, and it has U-bolts mounted to that tube. I'll tell you what, and just judging from the thickness of this metal, this has got to be about 1.25 inches thick. You would not be able to yank this hitch off of here by no means. You'd end up wrecking the truck before you'd end up wrecking this hitch. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it. Still, like I say, there's still quite a bit of work. When I get this body off, the first thing I'm going to do is take my pressure washer. I'm going to pressure wash this whole chassis down, try to get up as much as the oil and dirt as I can off of it. Again, last video I mentioned about these shocks. These shocks are all shot. I mean, they're bleeding. So oil's pretty much gone on it, and I have to check the suspension out real close to make sure that I don't have to replace any kind of additional suspension parts in the rear end especially. So, but yeah, it's a process, and it's just a one-man band here, so it's going to take me a little time to get this dude to where I want it, and it's coming along though. It's coming along. So anyway, just want to kind of give you guys heads up. The Willys is still in progress, and we will check back with you guys later. Y'all have a great day.